sales and all of those things that will help you get to your destination in the coming this coming summer or next summer or the one after that. So I'm super excited to be here, and hopefully we'll be able to answer some of your questions tonight.
All right, how about Sarah?
I'm so excited I get to be part of this group tonight because I get to be the group leader for Costa Rica. Woo! Costa Rica's in the house. I'm also the director of membership engagement. So I have the pleasure of working with some great teams in our organization to make some magic happen and hopefully encourage all the girls in the world to join Girl Scouts because it's simply the best. But I'm really just here to hang out, and Costa Rica in the house again. Woo!
Amazing. Thank you. All right, Jillian. How about Jillian?
Konnichiwa, konbanwa. So I'm here representing Club Japan. So excited to be here with everyone and to learn more about this process because I am learning this as you are, and excited to take this journey in this meeting with you. So super happy, and I will still do our Japanese phrase at the end. So for anyone who is doing Club Japan, we've got a pretty long one for you tonight, but it's a really easy one to pick up.
You have to remind me what kanbanwa means. Kanbanwa.
So that's good evening. So konnichiwa is kind of anytime. The one that we're going to learn tonight is Ohayo gozaimasu, which is good morning formally. Ohio is good morning, but if you're saying it to somebody who might be older than you, or you're saying it to somebody who to whom you don't know, a stranger, you would add gozaimasu at the end. You would do that with arigato as well, which is thank you. So
Nice.
Just a really good phrase to learn.
Excellent. I feel like I should have had some Spanish, Italian, Greek phrases lined up, but that's okay. We'll stick with Japanese tonight. And then last but not least, so we have our good friend Sandy here from Product Sales. Sandy, you want to introduce yourself real quick?
Hi, I'm Sandy. I'm been with Product for about 1.5 years now. So this is my second Treats and More and going into my second cookie season. So I'm still learning, but I'm here to help if I can. Sorry, my camera doesn't work, so I just have a funny picture up, or else I would.
That's all right, no problem. Thank you. Welcome all. So this meeting is all about money earning with our council programs, fall product, and cookies, and then also any money earning activities that you are going to do on your own. So I see that only a handful of you are brave enough to turn on your cameras. Anyone else want to turn your camera on in the audience? Turn it on. Let me see your faces. Also behind you, I love to see inside your house because I'm a creeper. Oh yeah, nice. I see some. Okay, quick. I'm going to do a quick icebreaker. Like I said before, there's everybody from all the trips is here. Japan, Costa Rica, Italy, Greece, and the Galapagos. I don't know if anyone is from the Galapagos trip on this call either, but I want, oh, hi Lynn, yay, Galapagos. So what I want to do is, because I'm already hungry for Thanksgiving dinner, I want to see what your favorite Thanksgiving treats are that you eat for Thanksgiving dinner. Okay, so if you celebrate Thanksgiving and you have a favorite dish, I'm going to name a couple of dishes. Have you done this 1 or 2 before? Jillian's an expert at it, right? 1 or 2. All right, so we'll name some Thanksgiving things that you are excited to eat, and if you like the first, if you like the first one, it's a 1. If you like the second one, it's a 2. I feel like
yep. So show me number 1 or show me number 2.
A true false scenario. It's like reminiscent of like standardized testing back in the day here, right? So okay, so let's go with turkey or tofurkey. Turkey or tofurkey. All right, look at, we got a lot of tofurkeys going on. I've never had tofurkey. I would love to try it. Who has had tofurkey before, and is it delicious? These are key questions. Yes, are they good? Does it get like, it's pretty good? Okay, awesome. I'm gonna try tofurkey. These trips are all about trying something new as well. So if you haven't had tofurkey, maybe give it a try. Okay, next up is the potatoes. These are very important. Mashed potatoes or sweet potato casserole? Mashed potatoes or sweet potato casserole? You can't vote twice.
I never allow anyone to choose both, and I have to choose both. So what is life without both?
I hate sweet potatoes. I want to eat them so bad, but I can't. I put them in my mouth and I'm immediately like, can't do it.
They're so good.
Look, I'm the same way with butternut squash. I want to eat a squash so bad. I just can't do it. Like physically can't do it. All right. How about veggies? How about green bean casserole or corn? Green bean casserole or corn? Neither. Yeah, you can give it thumbs down if you want neither. I love a good green bean casserole. All right, very good. Looks like green bean casserole is maybe, really? No green bean casserole? All right, I'll stick with one. Okay, how about gravy or no gravy? Gravy? No gravy. Yes, gravy. All in. No gravy for you? All right. That's okay. Are you tofurkey too? No, okay. I was gonna say, because I don't know about putting gravy on tofurkey, because that's like not, they don't match, right?
You could make vegan gravy using a veggie broth. I'm sure. Yeah, definitely. I saw Liliana is no gravy too down on that screen. They're the only two that I saw. Oh no, Liliana's mom.
Team no gravy. Yep.
Yeah.
All good. All right. Next one, last one, maybe a couple of last. Oh, cranberry sauce. That's a good one. Cranberry sauce or no cranberry sauce? I don't like it. I'm the only one. Oh, no.
Evie.
Yep, I see.
I like to dunk
couple.
my turkey
Yep.
in my cranberry sauce.
I don't like it.
And Liliana doesn't like it either. Whomever said that, that is right. The turkey and the cranberry together are beautiful.
Yes, for sure.
Oh, goodness. All right. Now, I guess here's the most controversial one, right? The desserts. I don't know what you all have for desserts at Thanksgiving dinner, but how about we do a matchup of pies first, all right? Pumpkin pie or apple pie? Pumpkin pie, apple pie. Oh, we got a couple of pumpkin pies down. Neither. Got a couple of pumpkin pies. What do you have on your pumpkin? Oh, pumpkin roll. That sounds delicious. Okay. What else? We usually have coconut cream pie in my house. Does anyone have coconut cream pie out there? I know it's kind of a weird thing, but I love a good coconut cream pie. What else is for dessert on Thanksgiving? There's got to be something I'm missing.
Chocolate pie.
Oh, like a chocolate cream pie, right?
Mhm.
How about coconut cream pie or a chocolate cream pie?
Both.
Yes, for both. I'm going with coconut cream. I love a coconut cream. Does anyone have anything? Cranberry lemon bars? Oh, I want to come over to your house. Oh, pecan pie. Yes. Pecan pie, crescent rolls. Oh, all right. Is anybody else sufficiently hungry? 1 for yes and 2 for no. Yes, me too. Ah, good. Thank you. Oh, cherry pie. I love cherry pie. Here's a fun fact about me. I cannot eat raw cherries because I'm allergic to them, but I can eat cherry pie because they're cooked. Does anyone else have that issue? Weird. Okay, so if you want to in the chat, put down any weird allergies you have. Also put down any delicious treats that could inspire us to try something new over our Thanksgiving dinner. And then last but not least, if you would like to put down in the chat, what is the thing that you're looking most forward to about your trip, whether it's to Italy, Greece, Costa Rica, Galapagos, Japan. Oh, science nerd. You know what? I think I also read that it's birch. It has something to do with birch and stone fruits and birch, peaches, plums, that kind of thing. Yeah, science nerd. I love a good science nerd. That's why you're going to the Galapagos. Science nerds unite. So put in the chat what you want to learn most about your trip or what you're looking forward to the most. And we will talk about that maybe at the very end. So money earning. If you have questions throughout this recording, feel free to put them in the chat. Also raise your hand or just unmute yourself. There's only 25 people here this evening, and we want to make sure that all the questions that you have get answered. And if petting the deer, and if you don't get your answer tonight, we want to make sure that we follow up with you tomorrow or the next day or whenever. So let us begin. If you have any questions, I know I've asked you to put a lot of things in the chat, but feel free to put questions in the chat that are just burning that you need the answers to. And we're going to start off with the EF donation page. Is everybody familiar with the EF Tours donation page? I am going to share my screen and show you what it looks like. Starting screen share will stop other participants' computer sound share. Do I want to continue? Yes, I do. Okay, so I'm going to share this screen. All right, can you see? Help me go on a trip of a lifetime. Can you see that? Beautiful. So this is a trip donation page. And everybody that's going on any of these trips has this page. So if you haven't seen it, where you want to go actually is into your payments section on yourself. So let me see if I can go back here real quick. Why is there no back button? That's odd. Oh no, what did I do?
Caslin. When?
All right. So let's say, for example, you are in this travel program. Can you see my screen still or no? No, I'm not sharing the right screen. Okay.
No, you have your.
Okay. So if
your blank
you're in your travel program, can you see this one? No, nothing at all.
We can
All we
see
have is
your
your
clear
background.
desktop.
Oh, that is my good friend, Dominican Republic. And I love it there. But this is what you want to see. Can you see that?
Yes.
Trip of a lifetime. There we go. So this is found under your payments. So if you're in your account and you're looking under your payment part there, if you click on the little down arrow, the down caret, you will see donation page. And if you click on that, this is what will come up. So every person is assigned a donation page. And if you have a birthday coming up, Christmas is coming up, Hanukkah is coming up, any of those holidays, Easter, Passover, all of those things, anything that you celebrate in your life that you get gifts for, if you choose, you can send this link, your donation page link, to people who frequently give you gifts, or maybe not frequently give you gifts, and they can donate directly to your trip. So they can give you the gift of the experience right through your page here. So they would just put their credit card information in there, as you can see. They can do it anonymously, or they can let you know that they gave to your account. And on the left side there, they also can see what you're getting. So I think a lot of folks are interested in the experience and, you know, what are they paying for? They could be paying for you to get a European breakfast and dinner. They could be paying for you to go on an excursion to the Roman catacombs. They could be paying for your entrance to the Sistine Chapel. So any amount that they donate to your account goes towards the trip and towards that experience. So I know a lot of folks are interested in what they're paying for, and that's all on the left side of the page there. So real quick, what you cannot do, though, is because this is for individual people, you should not send this link to businesses. So you shouldn't be soliciting, I don't know, what's a business? Bob's Pizza Parlor, Bob's Burgers. You should not send this link to Bob's Burgers and say, hey, I would like for Bob's Burgers to sponsor my trip to Italy and Greece. That they won't be donating to Girl Scouts. It's not tax write-off. It's not really, they may not know that. All of those things kind of go into donation for business organization. And we just want to make sure that you're aware, businesses should not be donating to this. Grandma, yes. Bob's Burgers, not so much. So just keep that in mind when using this donation page. Does anyone have any questions about that part of it? All right, I'm going to stop my share and get back into this. It's just palm trees, yes. Yes, it was. Okay, so I should be not sharing my screen anymore. Everyone is cool with the donation page, yes? Good, all right. So next up, just a quick little tip. If you're new to the sales, if you're new to Girl Scouting, in order to participate in money earning for the trips that are outside of any product sales that we do, you've got to participate in both the fall product and the cookie sales. So fall product obviously takes place in the fall, and cookie sales is actually coming up pretty soon, which is why we're having this meeting. So we can get all this stuff out in the air so that you can decide what you want to participate in. So cookie sales, you'll do your initial orders in January, all right, January. Cookies get delivered in February, booth sales are in March, all the cookies all the time. Christina has dropped in the chat the JOT form that leads you to the money earning activities. And on that page, it will ask you if you've participated in the sales. It's going to ask you what kind of money earning activity you would like to do, and you can make a description in there. It'll ask you more specific questions about what your troop is and where this is taking place and all that jazz. So I'm going to turn it over to Christina to talk a little bit more about money earning activities outside of fall product and cookies. And then the last thing we're going to talk about is cookies, because that's the big one coming up soon. So take it away, Christina.
Awesome. Thank you. And thank you for laying that groundwork. So like Liz said, the expectation for all Girl Scouts is that you participate in the product programs that we offer, because they do offer you that opportunity to earn some money. And then when you participate in those programs, we also welcome you to participate in other money earning activities. And it's pretty cool because if you think of what you do as a money earning activity, it tells you right in the title of what you're doing, a good way to test whether or not what you're doing is something that a Girl Scout would do. So like Liz was saying, you wouldn't go to Bob Burgers and solicit money, because like we don't want girls out soliciting money. It's kind of weird and a little bit like disconcerting, and it's in order to do the money earning activity, it gives you an opportunity to really participate in something. So your consumer that's giving you the money then is getting something for their money, whether it's goods or services. So whether it's gift wrapping, like this is a great time of year to set up a gift wrap station someplace cool and wrap some gifts, or there are groups that will do, and you can partner with a couple other girls maybe that are also going on the trip with you. You could offer like a drop-in babysitting in order, and I say babysitting, but usually they're school age and it's more like a game night or something like that, so that parents and caregivers can have a free night out and they drop their kiddos off and they give you a donation for your services, right? Like they pay you for hosting a game night, and that way there you're earning money for your trip. I know someone was just asking Liz, I think it was about like ornaments or something like that, right? Holiday ornaments, absolutely. Holiday ornaments, making jewelry, recycled t-shirt bags, whatever the case may be, like whatever your jam is. I'm certain that every single one of you has like a talent that you could offer up, right? Shoveling snow, raking leaves. This is a really great time if you have some seniors on your street. This is a really great time to offer to rake up their leaves for that last time that they go around sucking up the leaves before the snow falls. So those are some different things you can do. If you're trying to think outside the box, hosting a variety show for your community is super cool and a great way to sell admission tickets. People are getting entertainment for their money, and so you could do something like that. Races, pet sitting, all sorts of great things. So and I don't know, maybe some of you even have some other ideas. Pet sitting came from Mia, so that's really super. Thank you for sharing that, because that is absolutely something, especially holiday time, right? Like nothing's worse than bringing Fido with you on your trip to see your family and dealing with all that. So maybe someone would really appreciate having a pet sitter around the holidays. Anyone else, any other ideas, things that you've done? I know people have hosted races, like fun runs before, so that's another neat idea.
That would be cool, like for the Japan trip, if we figured out a way to do like a sushi rolling class, like if we figure that out and like roll, make some sushi and roll sushi. Even if like we figured it out and then we had like a sushi dinner, like that'd be super cool if we could do it. I have like the maps and I'm really bad at it, but if you would like some janky sushi, I'm all about it. It's all about the learning process.
Or even recruit someone who's good at it, right? Yeah, like not saying better. You couldn't, fine tune your skills, but have like like you said, a class, and have a couple people donate their time to come and really lead this class. I know, yeah, that would be super cool, something like that. And, then there's the spaghetti dinners. Applebee's is okay to do. I know, Girl Scouts kind of shies away from endorsing a brand, but Applebee's does a great pancake. I don't know if they do it right now, actually, with COVID. Sarah's nodding yes, like I think they still maybe do, but they do the pancake breakfast where you would go, like your travel group or whatever could go and you work it and you sell the tickets and people go for breakfast and it's pretty yummy, and usually gets a good turnout. And so little things, you know, lots of different things like that that are available to do. So those are some ideas.
That's really funny that you say that, because my cousin Richie works at the sushi counter at Wegmans here in Syracuse, and I'm trying to get him to come teach us how to roll sushi. So yeah, that's perfect, Elliot. That's exactly right. So look for that, because I'm gonna get him to teach us how to roll some non-janky sushi.
Yeah, super cool. I know there was I worked with a chef once that taught us how to roll sushi, but I'm not very good at it still. But it was fun. It was super fun. Yeah. So those are just some of the things that you could do. And I did offer up like more service and experience things than items, just because sometimes I think like those are more marketable. But obviously there's the standard bake sales and things of that nature too. Those of you that are going on trips later down the road, we do, if you read through our guidelines, we do talk about money earning during product sale time. That said, bake sales outside of elections are really great. Like at your voting stations, bake sales at voting stations are always really well attended. And even though our guidelines kind of say imply different, if you're doing something big like a giant trip like this, we definitely would approve anything that was during our product time, as long as it wasn't seen as a direct competition. Like if you were selling you know, grocery store grasshopper cookies during February and March, we might be like, that's not a good idea, but otherwise you're good to go. Liz, anything else regarding money earning that I didn't cover? Anyone have questions, like something you were thinking about, but you're not really sure?
Anybody? I wanted, Liliana, looks like are you looking to unmute yourself? Are you okay over there? No, you're up. Oh, do you have a question?
Oh, yeah. Wondering like if like garage sales are okay. Like, cause we live like right on Route 90. So we're near Route 90. So we were thinking like, if we had everyone that was going kind of collect stuff to sell.
Yeah, so that's a super great question. And I see another one in the chat. So I'll talk about the tag sale, garage sale first. So absolutely, what you want to do is keep it project focused, right? And that would be making sure that any of the girls that are going to be profiting from this are actually helping with the communicating, like, hey, we're looking for donated goods so that we can sell them, et cetera, et cetera. Absolutely. And I think that's great. And I think there's more and more of that going on as people become more conscientious about consumerism and the filling of our landfills. So people are really trying to
right now, right? Get all your 70s fashions out of your closets and the boots and the things.
People are exactly. People are really aware of how much we're throwing away, and so reusing, repurposing, and reclaiming things is a really great thing to do. And then Lynn, you were asking, so if you're doing a bake sale and you're doing it under the Girl Scout umbrella, you really need to fill out that form and have it approved. That way if there's if someone gets hurt, then we have it on record that you really were there for it. So that is a big piece of it. And plus, because if you're saying that this is to help with a Girl Scout activity, we just want to be able to be aware of it so that if we get asked about it, then we're able to feel lined up. Laura, did you have a question too?
Actually, I have a couple comments because we do yard sales. Another troop in this area has done yard sales for years, very, very successful. The piece that I'm going to put in there is we don't ever price anything. We ask for donations for whatever it is that we're raising money for. And people are super, super generous, and probably more generous by not putting prices on things. So, for the garage sales, you just collect the stuff and tell people it's, pay what you can, pay what you think is fair. And like I said, because it's for Girl Scouts, people are super, super generous. And about the whole bake sale thing, check your county because you can get dinged by the county health department for not having a food permit. And they will shut you down and they will fine you. Seneca County is no joke. I don't know about the rest of them, but yeah, you cannot get away with that, doing a bake sale without a permit from the county.
Yeah. And they're not hard to get.
No, well, you got to get the right paperwork, and you have the right insurance information from council, which if you don't know exactly what to ask for and how to ask for it, you don't always get what you need. So, I mean, and I've been doing that for years too. So, I mean, it's not a problem for me, but when I took the paperwork in the first time about 3 years back, and the lady's telling me this, that I was the first one to bring in the correct paperwork since she started working there for Girl Scouts. Yeah, I was kind of appalled, but because believe me, it was only 3 years ago, and our service unit's been huge down here forever. So, but yeah, you don't want to get in trouble with the county with food permits. So bake sales are touchy. You got to get the laws, and you can get into cottage laws and figure out what you actually need from the county before I try.
That's where the form comes in. So if you fill out the JOT form, we'll be able to touch base with you about all of that stuff. You know, the camp folks are really well versed in health department stuff, just because we have to be for our camp stuff. So we're pretty well on the.
That's awesome, but that's not my experience in the past. But I had to figure out most of it on my own. But
yeah, and yes, and I am aware, and I just put in there, it's the CE 200. It's a certificate of exemption. And if you ask the wrong person, then it gets a little muddy because volunteers don't need proof of workers' compensation because they're not workers. So, so I did put all of that in there for you too, in case anyone is interested in knowing more about it. If you're planning on doing like a spaghetti dinner or anything like that, those are a couple of the forms that you would need.
Any other questions or comments about non-product sale money earning activities? Now's a great time to do it, as Christina said, because it's holidays. You know, it's a holiday season, and you know, making ornaments, babysitting. I would be on that. I'd be all over that for a mom's night out. You know, babysitting for kids when you're out shopping for Christmas and that sort of thing. So if you have any questions or comments or concerns, you always can email us. We're on Facebook. You can comment in the Facebook page as well. And we'll be able to walk you through the money earning process.
The only other thing I was going to share as a potential would be to offer services to the seniors after the holidays, when they might be acquiring new technology, because, you know, people love to give older senior age family members all these really cool techie gifts, and they don't always know how to use them. So that's also a neat thing that you can do. If you're super techie, you could offer your services to help people understand how to use all their devices.
Your very own Geek Squad. That's a great idea.
Yeah.
Yes. So Lynn, I was chatting with somebody about this earlier, about the council leading any money earning activities. I would really like to, and I'm going to try to. The problem is that all of y'all are from all over the council. So it can be hard to get everyone into the same spot to do it. But yes, I'm going to try, especially when we do things like, you know, if we do sushi rolling, that would be really cool to do together. If we did some sort of like Latin dance or something, I know we're going to take a salsa lesson in the Galapagos. It'd be cool if we could do like dance lessons or some kind of dance or something. I did see someone say me and my guy dance. That's a really cool idea, and who doesn't love a dance party? So yes, I'm going to work that out. It's going to involve me with a map and all your names and a bunch of markers. We're going to try to figure out how to make it happen. But I'm going to do that, yes.
I have a question.
Sure.
Linda, how do you go about for cookie sales? How do the girls earn? I mean, usually cookie sales earnings goes towards the troop, for the troop to share. So how does that work for cookie sales for girls that are going on bigger trips?
Linda, what a great segue. Your check is in the mail. So we're going to move on to, to talk about cookie sales now, because that's our next upcoming thing. And I'm sure you all are wondering how you're going to work cookie sales into the trips. So I'm going to kind of walk us through what we're going to be doing for cookie sales. And as I'm walking through, if you have questions in the chat, put them in the chat and we're going to talk through this. So our main goal of all of this, I'm going to be upfront with you, and it is going to be a little bit confusing at times, which is why we're doing this, so we can address all those questions and stuff ahead of time. It's confusing for me too, and I work here. So girls will be able to sell within their traditional troop and with a travel troop, which is technically whatever trip you're going on. So what's going to happen in eBuddy is that our product sales folks are going to create a travel service unit in the eBuddy system. Each troop is going to be the trip that you're going on. So Italy, Greece will be a troop, Costa Rica will be a troop, Japan will be a troop, and the Galapagos Islands will be a troop under the travel service unit in eBuddy. Unlike your traditional troops that are in eBuddy, girls' names will not be associated with these travel troops. Because you cannot have a girl in a traditional troop and also assigned another troop in the system this cookie season. Next cookie season, to my knowledge, that's going to be different. And you'll be able to be in the system, in the eBuddy system, as your traditional troop and also any other troop that you want. Travel troops, mariners troops, any troop that you belong to, I believe you'll be able to do it that way. So it's really just for this cookie season where we have to get creative with how we're going to manage this. So when you are getting your cookie inventory, when you're selling for the travel troop, council is going to be maintaining who's selling, the inventory they're selling, the earnings that they're selling. They're basically, your girls are going to be treated like individually registered Girl Scouts. Okay. And then if you choose to sell for your travel troop, that money is going to go in the big spreadsheet with the girl, Liz Schmidt, and I sold 100 boxes of cookies and I earned this X amount of money for those packages or whatever. The girls must opt of rewards in order to sell for the travel troop, because rewards don't really play into this at all. And plus you can earn more money per package if you opt out of the rewards. So that's a thing. In order to sell for the travel troop,
Can you repeat,
go ahead.
Liz, can you repeat that? I missed it. I'm sorry. About opting out, because it used to be that you could only, your whole troop had to opt out. So is it still?
So yes, our whole travel troop is opting out. So there's no.
Okay.
And Linda, what that means is if the girls are selling in their troop, their traditional troop, then as that group, they will choose whether or not they're opting out. That's a separate thing. And then in the travel group, all the girls are automatically opted out of rewards in the travel group, and those two items will not combine.
Right.
Okay.
We're not going to be mixing and matching with the traditional troop and the travel troop. They're going to be separate.
Gotcha.
Yep. So as we are looking to assign inventory, cookie inventory will be assigned through eBuddy by council. And the girls selling for the travel troop, you can sign up for booths specifically for the travel troop that you can sell for if you choose. The inventory will live in the travel troop. It will not come from the traditional troop or the troop leader. So you'll get your cookies when you need to sell, when you need inventory for selling for the travel troop, you'll get it from the cupboard that's closest to you. That's where the inventory comes. And then your deposit slip is going to be dealt with through council. Everyone understand that part of it? Questions? Clarification? Are you waving at us or somebody else, Linda?
You, sorry, I had you muted. So, all right. So normally when you do a booth sale, you have to have 2 adults, 2 girls, the whole 9 yards. So if we're doing, say Caslin and I want to go set up at Walmart to do a Japan, or, wherever, to do a booth sale for the Japan trip. can her and I just go do that by ourselves?
So,
Christina?
yep. So, what we don't want, there are certain booth locations that are booked through council or designated volunteers, i.e. Walmart,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
So that's probably not the best example to use.
Okay.
But that said, if the travel group, if there is a Walmart booth, and the travel group can reserve that booth, that council booth, and from that council booth, offer out to the girls, I've booked this council booth, and these are the times and these are the dates, who wants to run it? Then that's one thing. And then in addition to that, beginning, I think it was 2 cookie sales ago, we did start allowing, we did switch things up and become a little more just realistic about more realistic about how the world works. And so if a caregiver and girl are going to go to, if say, I know that Liz's husband owns Bob's Burgers and we're really good friends, I can hold a booth at Bob's Burgers. In that case, Liz is going to be making a job form, and I'm going to be able to say to Liz, hey, Susie Q and I are holding a booth sale at Bob's Burgers on February 29th from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. And she's going to say, okay. And she's going to put that into eBuddy. So it goes in the cookie locator so that when Bob's dog bites me, my insurance coverage is in effect. And then I'm also going to send in a request to Liz, and I'm going to say, I need 5 cases of cookies for my booth sale next Saturday at Bob's Burgers. So I'm going to be able to request my cookies so that they can stay separate from my troops cookies. And I can get my booth sale on the cookie locator and make sure that it's accounted for. So that will all happen through that job form, just to make the communications a little bit easier, because there are a lot of trips and a lot of people when you add everyone together. But then the girl will also be able to be, if she's goal setting with her troop. So I know someone had said that that their girl was the only one in her troop going on a trip. And so I think it was Lynn, right? So if Lynn's daughter then, or if Lynn's girl is going to be setting goals with her troop, maybe their goal is to go to Boston on a weekend. She can still do her cookie sales through her troop, and then also have these additional sales that she's doing for her trip. Does that make, can I get a temperature? A little sideways over there. Okay. Do you want to unmute and tell us where you're sideways? Or where I am?
So my confusion is, does this mean that we need to be keeping track of 2 streams of cookies? One for regular troop and one for travel troop?
If she's in a regular troop as well and choosing to do that, it is kind of going to mean that for you. Only because otherwise all of the sales are going to be in one place. The nice thing is there is a digital order card. You didn't get there yet, right?
Nope, yeah, I didn't get there yet. Yep.
The digital order card, she'll have her digital order card that she can promote with her troop. And she can use that. And then also say, what trip is Mia the girl, or are you Mia? I'm sorry.
No, Mia's the kid.
Sorry. If Mia is for her trip, is she Japan or
Japan?
Japan. So if Mia's going to Japan, Liz is going to have a digital order card for Japan. That that folks can use. Like if you want to sell cookies and say, hey, help me buy some boxes of cookies, help me get to Japan, then they get processed through that digital order card. She won't be delivering those. That's not inventory you have to track. That's a really nice way to do it. Like that's super nice because you don't touch any money, you don't have anything except for just promoting that link for that digital order card. So that's a super simple way for folks to do that. And those will get put in, because it won't be tracked by girl, those will get put into the Japan trip. And then Liz will divide that up. If she participates in a booth sale specifically for her Japan trip, then her individual boxes will be part of that. And so that's where you would be tracking inventory. If you were requesting boxes to pick up for a specific, packages to pick up for a specific booth sale. But if she is in a troop as well and setting goals and doing stuff, then yes, that's the part that is going to be a little more complex for every family who is choosing to use cookies for both. And of course, that also means that you could choose to only have her cookie sales go into one vein or the other as well. We
So
wanted
I
to make sure.
Elliot is asking in the chat. Are the if they choose to do the travel troop sales, are they only taking orders electronically, or they are also taking
They can do paper orders. They wouldn't turn those orders in through their troop leader. They would have to turn those in through Liz. And they would get them from their individual cookie cupboard as opposed to from a troop leader.
Yeah.
Because the troop leader isn't going to be able to manage multiple girls in her troop and also these additional sales that are going to be allocated someplace else. We wouldn't ask that of each individual leader. So so that's the why behind it, is trying to make sure that for the leaders, this is kept fairly simple for them, so that they're not doing it for multiple girls managing two different types of sales. And then also, you know, just kind of keeping in mind that there may be troops where everyone is going. And so they may decide that they are fine managing this whole sale and that you don't need that extra layer. But this is if you know you want to do some things with the troop and you want to do some things with your travel group. This gives you that opportunity, because like I said, if the girl is goal setting with her troop and setting goals to say, go to Boston or go to Savannah or some of these other big trips that I know that troops are going on, then that could get a little sticky. So this allows for a girl to do both of those things.
Yes. And so to touch on the digital part of it as well. So as Christina mentioned, each travel troop will have a digital order link for the travel troop. We can't figure out who's ordering for who through that digital link, to my knowledge. So that any money that comes in through the digital order is going to be split with the girls that have participated in that part of it. Otherwise, the money that comes in is going to be treated like individually registered girls. So the money is not necessarily going to be split between everyone. Council, we will be keeping track of who is selling what and what inventory is coming in and out and that sort of thing as part of the travel troop. Did I say that correctly? Yes. Girl delivery will not be an option through the travel troop digital link. Questions, concerns?
If they order through the travel troop one and they don't have the option for girl delivery, does that mean that they have to pay for shipping for that then?
Oh, you got your violin right. Come on.
The person that orders from the digital link does, yes. But if you're out and you're selling cookies with your paper order form, that's, I mean, you're going to get the cookies from your cupboard, from your closest cupboard or whatever to give to them. So that's how they can opt out of that situation. But if, you know, grandma who lives in Tucson needs her cookies and she wants to buy from you, obviously you're not going to be delivering those. Or maybe you will, I don't know, that'd be a super cool trip too. But, you know, that's where a shipping might come into play there. So. Okay, so managing the money within these troops. As I mentioned, council is going to be keeping track of, so like for Italy, Greece, for Japan, I will be keeping track of the girls that are selling through the travel troop. I'll be keeping track of any inventory that comes through eBuddy, and also the earnings that folks get back. I'm going to leave that. I saw a question about how much they earn per package. And if Sandy has the answer to that, I would appreciate it because I don't know actually. So I'll leave that to her in just a second. Girl Scout money, though, I want to make it clear that this is any Girl Scout money that the girls earn through the cookie sales or really through anything else is Girl Scout money, right? So they're earning this money, they're earning the money through cookies to pay for their experience. So there's no like cash value to this. If your girl cancels out of the trip, I'm not going to write you a check, you know, here's your, you know, $800 or whatever for this. You can use it for other things. You can use it for other trips or other Girl Scout activities, but it essentially has no cash value. And then at the very end of the sale, what we're going to do is we're going to send this spreadsheet to EF Tours, and we're going to have the money that each girl has earned applied to their trip, basically. So just want to make that clear. You know, there's no cash value paid out. I can't do refunds. There's no refunding any of this kind of situation. It's either used for the trip or for any other experience that you might be doing through Girl Scouts. Sandy, do you have an answer on the per package average or a range by any chance?
Yes, if it's up to 200, I believe it's 275 packages, it's 15%, and then anything above 275 packages is 20%. Per package, I believe it's the 80 cents and the 85 cents are the two things.
Oh,
I don't think that's right.
Christina just dropped it in the chat.
90 and $1. I just pulled it off our website. I'm sorry.
Okay. Thank you.
I was frantically looking.
Ah, beautiful. Thank you very much.
That's the troop one.
What?
Yes.
But they're based, theirs will be based off of IRG girls, not troop.
Can you say that again then?
The proceeds are based off of how the IRG girls earn proceeds, not
What
by
are
the
IRG?
Individually registered girls.
Sorry.
Okay. So how does that work again? Can you repeat it? I'm sorry, I didn't hear it. Because I did hear it, but I didn't sound right to me, so I didn't listen to it.
Yeah, it's kind of like how Christina put it there. It's just, it's not the 90% or $1. I believe it is,
I think there's a next level lower, right?
no, we only have 2 levels for the IRG girls.
Okay. So what are those 2 levels again?
It's 15% and 20%.
Okay. So
Which I
20%
believe
of what? Of your sales?
Of the sales.
So if your daughter sells 1,000 boxes of cookies, she's only going to earn $200. But if she sells 1,000 boxes of cookies with the troop, they earn 1,000?
I don't.
That doesn't sound right. 20% off of your sales. I don't understand how that.
I think the conversation for IRMs this year, it is shifting. So maybe that's where the confusion is. I believe it should be the same as troops now with the different tiers was where we were going. So I think we can get the correct answer for this and get it out to everybody.
Because that makes a big difference.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, because thank you, Jillian, because that's what's on our website for junior, senior ambassador girls in a troop that opt out, which is where this travel group would fall as an opt out. So thank you. And yes, 20% of $5 is $1. So
oh yeah,
that part does make sense.
Yep.
Yep.
But we're going to double check these numbers, and when I plan to send out an email to everybody after this to include the recording and also kind of firm up these numbers here. So look for that email, and I'm going to send it out to like everybody in the the specific travel troop, the way that I sent this invite out. So we are going to figure that out and get you a firm answer on that and get it back to you. Okay. Okay. Thank you. What else? Are we forgetting anything else?
How does it work if the girls sell as a troop or already have in the past? Are we able to take their earnings that they chose to apply to this trip out of the troop account and apply it to their EF Tours account, or does council need to do that? That's a conversation that you would need to have with the girls' troop leader, and we can help you navigate that conversation if it's a conversation you're not sure how to discuss, because troop money, money earned in a Girl Scout troop is considered to be property of the Girl Scouts in the troop, not an individual girl. So if you are the leader, then that again is a conversation that you need to have with the troop, because if only one girl is going to be benefiting from a portion of that in one manner, then it's about having that conversation about what is fair versus what is equitable, and how that what that is going to leave for the troop, and is the troop going to be able to reach the goals that they've already set? Does that make any sense?
We had pretty much planned on sitting the girls down and having them, you know, look at their plans for the future and look at this trip and make that decision. Mm-hmm. So just not realizing that there was the option to have a travel troop account as well. Do we, moving forward, is there anything like, you know, how do we apply that money that they do choose?
I would say that the troop would go ahead and make that payment in that girl's EF Tours donation page, right, Liz? Does that make the most sense to do it that way?
Yep.
That way there, if it's your girl or any other girl, if it's coming out of the troop fund, you can use the troop debit card to do that.
Mm-hmm. And I would probably, in that description box where you could click who it is or anonymous, click, you know, who it is, and then just say troop 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you know, and just sort of make a note in that, because then I imagine this is going to get recorded in your finance reports at the end of the year. And like, we just need that paper trail to make sure that we know that that money went for her out of troop funds and all that jazz. So in that little box, just make a note of that and the troop number and all that sort of thing.
And I know this probably seems a little wonky to some folks. Girl Scouts is a nonprofit, and one of the ways that we are able to have a cookie sale to help girls do the great things that they do is by demonstrating each year that there isn't an individual profiting from the sale of cookies. So if we start assigning dollar value to a girl individually, then a girl is profiting from cookies and or treats, reads, and more, or whatever, and that can shake whether or not we're able to have a cookie program for the girls to use to set these goals. And when we think about the amount of money that the girls put back in the community through community service from the money that they earn through the cookie sale, like there's a lot of extra little ripples that would be impacted, and we want the girls to be able to continue to do all of their things. So I know it seems a little clunky and frustrating. The real reason is that we're not, like, Girl Scouts isn't supposed to be able to say, oh, you know, here's your $1,000. Thank you for selling cookies with us. But we do want that girl to go to the Galapagos Islands or to Japan or wherever. We want to help girls see their dreams come true. That's like what we're doing here, right? That's why we're all doing this.
Money than to go on these awesome trips.
Yeah.
You know, like,
so we're trying to our best to find ways to make that possible for you so that you can get the best reward out of your efforts, just like you would if you were doing anything else to make these goals achievable.
So we had a question about just a clarification on whether a travel girl can do a booth with only one adult or if they need 2 adults. And I think what I heard previously, Christina, is that it depends on the booth. Is that correct?
I think it depends on the booth and the amount of time you're going to be there, because the basis is in the age of like everyone involved. Because if you're there with depending on where you are, if you feel comfortable with the girl going and using a restroom by herself, if you're there so long that she needs the restroom, then that's one thing, but you don't want to leave your booth unattended. right? Or if one of you has to, if there's only 2 people there and someone has to use the restroom, then that can really jam you up. So we really want you to think about how long you're going to be there and those logistics for your safety and well-being and comfort. Does that make sense? I hope that,
Yeah, that's good. Okay, any other questions? It's a lot of information. So if you come out of this meeting and you're like, man, I wish I had asked that question, or gosh, you know, I want more clarification on XYZ, you will have my email, obviously, because I'm going to follow up with this meeting to email me back. And I will either answer it and or pass it on to the person that knows how to answer it the best. So don't worry if you come up with a 3 a.m. question that you need answered. We will do our best to answer the questions. And I do have a document that kind of explains all this that I'll send along as well, so that sometimes like I understand things better when I read it and have a chance to digest it and sort of like think about it. So I'll send this document out to everyone too. Are there any other? Go ahead, Linda.
Okay, so, and I don't know, I haven't watched any cookie meetings yet, so I apologize if it was answered in there, but can we set up a community cupboard? No. Like we did last year. A community partner for like a Japan. So let's say, for instance, the, area gift shop is going to set up a booth to sell cookies, and those cookies, Caslin sets it up, and those are going to go out of the cupboard for the Japan trip.
Yep.
And okay, so we can do community partners.
Sandy, are we doing community partners this year where the girls are leaving the cookies?
No, there's no community partners.
Because we're no longer in peak COVID crisis, correct?
Right.
And girls sell Girl Scout cookies, not businesses. And that was something that we had kind of worked around.
Right.
They learned so much other stuff. It was a whole new learning experience. It was awesome.
Your question sparked there's a ton of, think about all the, especially in Syracuse, we have a ton of like hibachi sushi places around town. It'd be awesome if you could set up a booth outside of one of those sushi places and be like, we're going to Japan. Like, I'm selling these cookies. Send me to Japan, and also bring out some sushi in a to-go box for me to eat. So yeah, it'd be great to come up with those places where you think you can sell cookies and get folks to support you. That'll be the job form. So you will send it to us. And there'll be a little button that says, I have a booth, and you'll click on it and it will tell me where the booth is. I'll put it in eBuddy so that people know where it is, and they can put in the zip code finder thing, and you'll be covered under our insurance, and it's going to be super cool. If you need cookies, you can click on the little, I need cookies, and then your closest cupboard will give you the cookies. I'm hoping to make it as easy as possible for you to set up booths in your community to sell cookies for your trips, and or to get cookies out of the cupboards to sell however you choose to sell them. So Council Booth, State Fair, Grubhub. I do not know what the status of the State Fair and or Grubhub is right now. Haven't really heard any updates about that. So I don't know, Lynn. That's a question that I think is not.
Yeah, they're not doing Grubhub. They are still GSUSA is still looking into a delivery type service, but it's not Grubhub. And we couldn't get the state fairgrounds this year. I guess they're packed up. Yeah. So we were looking at that, but we are working on some council booths. So we will have those council booths and hopefully get that out there very soon as well. We're still waiting on the agreement for Walmart's, so we can't contact Walmart's right now until that agreement is signed. But we do have Walmart's. It's just when we can reach them, contact them.
Facebook advertising.
Rebecca, as far as, do you want to unmute and just kind of expand that so that we can answer it as best we can?
I'll see on Facebook, like people near me or in my community are asking, where can I get Girl Scout cookies? Are we allowed to say, oh, we're selling them, we're trying to go to Japan, this is what's going on?
100% yes.
Okay.
Yep. You can share the link on your personal, if you're like in a little mom's group or something like that and someone's asking, absolutely share it. We ask that you don't put them on like a community garage sale site or something like that, because there's exposed risk there. But absolutely, I will share the thing that I thought was super great is I have a girl in my community that, well, it's actually, there's 5 girls that are Girl Scouts this year in the family, but they come by and they left, like they did a really nice doorstep drop off, and it was really great. They left me a little ticket to order, and then they did a circle back around and collected the order sheet. And then they delivered them when they came in. It was really great. I loved it. And they ribboned and bowed them, and it was just really sweet. But absolutely, like if you're, because I know like, you know, we're still conscientious of things in my house, but I think that, you know, doing stuff like that is really great too. And it's super safe. Like, even if you're thinking about girl safety in general, not just COVID safety, but girl safety in general, like I thought that was a really great way to make it personal. And so that's another option is, you know, if you don't want to do the knock on the door thing, is to give everyone like a little order slip, and they could place their orders that way. It was like, you know, text this number to place your order, blah, blah, blah. It was super good.
Lynn's question about girls selling cookies for both her troop and travel troop, combine her totals, uncertain. Sandy, Christina, do you have an answer for that?
So what I believe, Sandy, are they able to combine their orders for the patches?
You mean for like their final count?
Yes. We know they wouldn't be able to get the awards, but would they be able to get their patches from their combined sales?
I believe so, yes.
Okay.
Because the patches, yeah.
So if they had like 400 or the bar or whatever, then they would be able to do that.
Yeah.
Initial order. So when the girl processes her initial order, if that initial order is going to be processed by the girls troop leader, that initial order has to stay with the troop, just so you all know that. That's really an important little piece of our bookkeeping, because we can't move initial orders. So know that part of it. If you're worried, I know about managing 2 different sets of sales, what I would personally recommend is probably keeping that initial order as your girls troop order and making that its own thing. And then if the troop is doing a booth sale or something like that, have her participate in those booth sales. And then anything that's after that she's doing, have her do that for her travel group. That might be the easiest way as a parent to manage the process in 2 different places. So that's probably like, if I were in your shoes, that's what I would do. And I would just be like, hey, look, this I think is going to be our best way to do it, unless you can figure out a better way. And because, you know, girls come up with some really creative solutions too, and they might have something that you're not even thinking of, but that's what I would probably recommend.
Great idea.
Will the donate an option be available for digital orders? I believe it will, Sandy, right? Even under the troop cookie order, they can still donate a box? Usually they can.
So. Yeah, I believe so.
Yep. And with that, there isn't the delivery. So thank you, Ellie, for asking that, because if they do the donation box, they don't pay a delivery fee, because that's like my favorite thing to do.
So I know that oftentimes the cupboards don't have the kinds of cookies that you need after the first couple of weeks of cookie time. So if our travel troops are picking up cookies from the cupboards, and they have no more Thin Mints because the other troops have pre-ordered all of the Thin Mints and picked up more Thin Mints. How are we dealing with the chaos of the cupboard?
Sandy, do you want to talk about our cupboard inventory for this year? I know it got a little messy this past year.
Yeah, this past year, it got messy. This year, hopefully it will be a lot smoother. There is a couple of changes that's going to happen with the travel troop, though. It's going to be done same way that a troop leader would do it. Liz, you would go to Liz, tell Liz what cookies you want for the travel thing. She's going to put it into the cupboard. We're going to try to streamline the cupboard to make it hopefully so it's not as chaotic as it was last year, and also to be able to manage the inventory a lot better. We are planning on having more inventory in the cupboards to begin with as well. So that way there's not the, oh, we ran out, more people. We're kind of planning ahead, I should say, this year to make sure we have cookies in the cupboards that way we already have them. So we're not having to wait for trucks to bring cookies up, if that helps.
Yeah, I mean, we want people to feel confident, and we really try hard. I would say that depending on where someone is located, if there is a problem, I think last year, I think all of us drove cookies places because they were available in one place or the other. So we will work really hard to help with that. The last thing we want to do is say, hey, you should sell cookies and you can't have any, because that's not advantageous for girls that have goals, right? So that doesn't make sense. We will work really hard. And I know that there were a lot of snafus last year. So thank you, Sandy, for kind of talking to that point a little bit. There was
last year was the trucking. So it wasn't really on us or the baker. They had the cookies. It was really the trucks, trying to get the trucks to get us the cookies. Yep. Was besides some of I'll give the weather a little bit, but it was more the trucking companies that was the problem last year.
Yeah, and I just know that we're still in a pandemic and we're still having supply chain issues. And so I'm just trying to get a realistic picture of what is the chaos storm.
Well, luckily our cookies are all in the US, so we don't have to worry about them coming from overseas to have to worry about some of that. But yes, I understand what you're saying too.
Sandy, we did have one other question, and it was about cookie dough. I know that we have adventure vouchers that are expiring on the 18th. Those adventure vouchers girls can use to apply towards this trip if they have not yet, correct?
Correct, yes. Yes.
Including any that were outstanding that we were honoring from previous, right? And then in this coming season, I was just looking on our website because we do have the 22 rewards listed on our website right now under the cookies link. Mm-hmm. And correct me if I'm wrong, is cookie dough isn't one of the rewards?
No.
What they do have is an opportunity to earn different experiences.
Yeah, we went more experience-based, just to help the girls get out there, learn more. I mean, we've got a cookie camp that we've created for all the age levels. Hopefully just to make it more fun, get the girls out to camp and have a different type of jamboree type style cookie camp. We have a trip to Washington, D.C. We've got Kalahari. So we've kind of got a wide range of different experiences that we're, just hoping that would promote the girls to, get out there and be able to experience, different things, a water park, camping, learning about Washington, D.C. and the historical stuff that's all there.
So again, with the girls opting out of the rewards, that would that would allow them to get the extra dollar value in
So-
order to help with their trip.
Right. So as you guys were talking about this, one thing too is, so you're opting out of the travel troop rewards.
Right.
However, like your initial order, that's with your home troop. So there you can still get those rewards.
Right.
So, I mean, you know, you can have a go-getter who could possibly get up to 1,000 in her home troop to get to certain experiences, and she'll get all those experiences. But over in the travel troop, she could, you know, sell another 500 for that to get the proceeds to help her go towards her travel troop.
And especially the girls that have a trip that's further out,
I think
depending
that's
on
what
how
it is.
they've kind of set their goals and budget, it really would allow them to capture the best of both worlds if they choose to. Depending on how they're structured, especially like the Galapagos, I'm thinking, which is in 24, for girls that have their sights set there, they definitely have the ability to kind of find that balance, that sweet spot.
I think the prizes are awesome this year.
Thank you.
Experiences. I like that idea. But that's a bummer because I would love to go to Washington.
Aw. All right, does anyone have any other burning questions or comments that you'd like to have addressed in this time? I want to be conscientious of our time. Many of us still have work and school to go to tomorrow. Jillian, I think we're going to have to wait on your flag trivia for another night. We had some great conversation tonight. And if you're in Club Japan, join us next. Oh, I see Liliana's got a question. Liliana's
Yeah.
mom.
I just wanted to clarify, if Lily is selling just for the Japan group, and so she can't do, like, her online orders can't go to Japan unless they pay shipping. Like,
So is Liliana in a troop, a traditional troop as well, or is she independent?
well, she is, but the group never sells anything and she sells everything. So she would rather money go towards Japan where she can benefit from it more than what she is now. So,
Right. So her initial order, the initial order will stay with her home troop, but then anything after that, you could put that all over into her Japan troop.
right. But like, so my question is, so like last year she had like flyers that she put up around, like on doors. They had a QR code that they could scan and they could initially just do their order, like right online and pay online. And then we would just drop them at the door. Like, could she still?
I would say that what you're muted. You bumped something, I think.
So her initial order has to go to the troop and then anything after that go to Japan, or?
Yeah, and if she's using the QR code specifically for her order, what I would recommend doing is having an honest conversation with the troop leader, and we can help you to navigate. And it's okay, like it's okay to do that. There's nothing wrong with saying, hey, you know, this is a really big goal for her, and I'm not like, it's okay. We can help you. Like, I think that's kind of something to have one-on-one. That's a conversation to have kind of offline. But if that's, if you feel like that's something that she wants to work towards, then that's something that we could work with you in the troop to navigate that dialogue.
Okay.
Does that sound reasonable?
No. Yeah, I was just trying to figure, like, just even if it was split like part way, but it was just like if all of the ones that are scanned on the QR code go to the troop, like she doesn't do much selling after that, I don't think. So it wouldn't be much going towards Japan, was kind of my point, but
Yeah.
okay, we can talk more about it.
Okay.
The Japan troop itself will have a digital page. So as I mentioned before, we can't track who is selling. Like, I won't be able to assign the money that comes in from the Japan's digital page to girls, because I don't know like who is buying for who. Like there just isn't a way to track that. But any money that comes into the Japan troop from girls that participated in the sales, that money will be split amongst the troop, just evenly split. And not everyone is going to be participating in this as well. We have like 60 people going on the Japan trip. I hope everyone participates in cookie sales and fall product, but I don't think everyone will. So depending on the numbers in each troop, that is the number that the money will be split. So girls that don't participate don't have any, nothing is going to be split that way. Additionally, it's not, I'm hoping it's not cumulative, right? So like after this cookie season, we're not going to be sitting on a pot of money in this travel troop in eBuddy. It's going to be all disseminated out so that you get what you earned, and then any monies that were earned digitally by the troop will be split evenly amongst the people that participated. So then next year, if more people want to participate, that's fine, but that is going to be a separate pot of earnings for the next folks, the next round.
I have one question, another one. It is about the vouchers that they just spoke about that are going to expire.
Mhm.
I have girls that earned $75 in vouchers and they would like to use them towards our Savannah trip in April. How do they go about getting that money now to put into that account or to pay on something for that so they don't lose it?
Right.
So you would do the job form, but do you have like a travel agent that you're working with this?
Yes. Yep.
So you could give us the travel agent's information and we can send that check over to them.
Oh,
or $75 towards that, and say it's for, that girl, if it's separate, different things, or even just for that thing. We just need something showing our trip.
It's PB&J tours. So is that going to be, have you done that before?
I'm sure
documentation that it's going.
Yeah, I can do it.
Job form. Okay.
Yep.
And I put the job form in the chat already, just recently.
Yep.
It's
all right. I will let her know because I know they don't want to lose that. And
yep. And those expire on December 18th. So it behooves you, to sort of make sure that you assign that. If you're doing it for any of these troops, these trips specifically, we will send a check directly to EF Tours with your account number and your girl's name in it to make sure that it's assigned to that person that has earned it.
Yep.
Okay.
We just need the documentation just to make sure we're not sending like Uncle George's rent payment to him. You know what I mean? Like it's got to go somewhere. All right. Yes, if anything we talked about leaves you feeling less than hopeful, which hopefully most of this was clarifying. Like we said, I know it's a lot. Parts of it are certainly confusing. The more I talk about it, the little bit better I understand it. Hopefully I'll be an expert by the time cookie season actually starts. I better be, because I'm in charge of all of this stuff with regards to the travel troop. So yikes, no pressure. But we, as Christina said, we want to make sure your girls go on this trip. Like, why stay in Girl Scouts if you these trips are the culmination of years of hard work and being in Girl Scouts and being part of the community. And what better way to end and or jumpstart your Girl Scout experience here, depending on how old you are. There are still spots in all of the trips. So I know it's short notice for Costa Rica and Italy, Greece, but if you are interested, there are spots and you certainly can sign up for them. And then of course the Galapagos is just signed up. So we have plenty of spots left in that one too, if the Galapagos is in your future. Science nerds unite. Lynn, I'm looking at you. Yay. Yep, come travel with us.
I had a question about the Galapagos. How one of my parents asked is it only because it is through EF Tours, but it's also through Girl Scouts? Is it a trip that is only for Girl Scouts? For instance, say if this
Girl Scouts, registered Girl Scouts.
So a brother cannot go.
No, he is not a registered Girl Scout. However, a dad can go because dad would be a registered Girl Scout.
Yes, that's what I was wondering. As if she asked me because she said, can't take one and not the other.
Right, exactly. Yep. Okay, as we mentioned, our emails are plastered all over the place, and you'll get one from me with this recording, and also a document that will explain it a little bit better. Or no, we'll reiterate what we explained wonderfully during tonight's meeting. And if you have any questions, comments, concerns, please reach out to us. We want to make this something that is painless, not painful.